In the area of care, we have a special conversation on the Many thanks for choosing us. A 10-day-old baby has died at the KNUST Hospital in Kumasi in a suspected case of medical negligence. The baby was sent to the facility for a male circumcision procedure, but hospital sources say he suffered cardiac arrest and died few minutes later while in the care of the medical team. Ohiminterio of our health desk reports the situation has left the parents of the baby devastated.
On April 3, 2023, Mohammed Jamal and Halimatu Adams took their son, Faraj Mohammed, to the KNUST Hospital for a simple procedure, male circumcision. The baby was received by a nurse who took him to the theater for the procedure.
3rd April, no near Jordanapa. Na akulanya 10 days. Into a say, ye beko for circumcision. You jara krano, you hold the baby and hano, and then call Tech Hospital. You then call hospital no. Ochre theater my call a man nurse and no, a beji akulano sheno. Nte oji akulano, in a diaper no, a run at the shakulano shen a diaper shen a bema hunina, or shay not or CBI okay.
The wild cry of the baby was heard for the last time by the parents, who were then seated at the waiting area of the theater. Then, some senior nurses and doctors were seen rushing into the theater, a development which made the parents distraught. The baby's mother, Halimatu Adams, knew something bad had happened to the baby, but had to endure a long wait to hear news about her son.
Dr. Neka Sakra, Mama Nang, Kasensi, or Kasana, Nameka say, Gotcha said, Doctor, Gotcha me say me banu, because no my feeling say, I'm Pabibi, I am a pam.
The thought of losing their only male child under bizarre circumstances has left the couple traumatized.
The feeling or the pain that you go through, unless you experience it, because it's something you cannot even express it. What you go through, the psychological pains, the trauma that you go through any night, when you hear the cry of the child, the pains and even you can't do anything, you can't focus.
Authorities at the KNUST Hospital have declined comments on the matter. The University Relations Officer says the matter has been referred to the legal department of the university. But a patient-centered non-governmental group is leading a campaign to bring justice to the Jamals. The Advocacy for Medical Malpractice Victims says it can establish a prima facie case against KNUST Hospital. Kwame Brobe Apia is the executive secretary.
From all indications, the hospital was negligent in the conduct of the circumcision. So we believe strongly that we will be able to establish a prima facie case against the hospital. The little checks that we have made with the hospital, the indications are that one, exercise. Then again, we are also told that they know the risk associated with the procedure and then any other outcome that they are likely to have before the process is done. That wasn't done. Also, from the investigations we have done, we know for a fact that they actually did not take the history of the baby before proceeding to, undertake the procedure. If that had been done, I am sure a lot of these issues would have been averted.
Checks at the Health Ministry indicate medical legal cases are on the rise in the country. In recent times, at least 2 medical legal cases are received every week, a development which has left Health Minister Kwaku Agyeman worried.
What I'm seeing of late in the ministry are issues of litigation. For the past 4 weeks or so, almost every week, we get at least one letter from the Attorney General's office. Somebody has sued somebody with problems with care, service delivery, and they want us to come with information for them to go to court with. Then we refer to Director General or Kumabwaji. But I've been with you for the past 6 years. Earlier when I came in, those things were not happening that much. But now it's become something, it's just climbing, it's becoming very common.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oinetaria reporting.
Let's still stick on health because there's an increase in demand for an urgent government intervention to provide holistic care for mentally ill. Attempts by non-governmental organizations to complement government's efforts have been overstretched due to the immense need for human and financial resources. Reducing stigma and ensuring access to quality mental health care in Ghana remains a mission yet to be accomplished. Hannah Odame has been exploring the case of mental health care in this feature titled Minds on the Street.
Some are very young and some are very old too, and some too, they are.
It is not only about how they feel.
In August 2022, a mentally challenged woman hit a man with stones at this particular spot. For those who stay and live around, it was a moment of reawakening. For how long are they going to tolerate or look over their shoulders when they see a mentally challenged person in their vicinity?
That torturous incident lingers on the minds of many who heard it, but most especially on the minds of those who witnessed that horror. Tagged, abused, or beaten by a mentally challenged person is an act no one would want to experience.
It's quite frustrating of late. I do meet them. Sometimes they come towards you whilst you are working, and you are a little scared, especially during the nights, and you feel you should run away. And when you try to, they try to follow you. It is something which is really, uncomfortable. And I feel the government should, in a way, try to put them together in one place. Some are very threats to life.
That intervention to get them off the streets was announced on March 2022 by the then medical director of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Dr. Pinaman Apau. She revealed the redevelopment of the facility into a 220-bed hospital was under government's Agenda 111 program and was part of many other projects, including the construction of 101 district hospitals, 6 regional hospitals, and 2 psychiatric hospitals.
The first date that was communicated to management was the end of June 2022. However, updates that I got recently from the coordinator of the Agenda 111 project indicates that currently they are doing what we call technical evaluation on tenders that had been submitted.
But almost a year on, not much has happened in terms of a pull-down and a facelift. One would think the facility hosting some of the mentally challenged persons in the national capital will be rid of their presence around their premises. But that's not what we see here at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, with some of them reserving permanent habitations around this place. Passers-by and residents are uncomfortable.
We will feel very bad because it is not good for somebody to carry a stone and throw another person. Even the person is not a madman or the person is not a mad woman. You understand? We call it a little violence. It's something that is not good at all.
Former director of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Dr. Akwesi Osei, delving on this development.
As at the time the idea came to pull down the structures and build new ones, we had got to the point where it didn't seem fitting for a facility of our age in Ghana. So the idea was to pull it down and rebuild it. All things were more or less in place, but somehow it's stalled. I'm sure it's not totally dead. I'm sure the plans are still there, that somewhere along the line, you'll get the funding to continue the program. That was it. Now, you mentioned two new psychiatric hospitals. Yes, one in the northern belt, one in the middle belt. As far as I know, they are still on the drawing board. Land has been secured, and they started building them. So we hope that funds will continue to be available for them to finish building them. And if they finish, it will be wonderful. Because for now, all our three facilities are down south.
As the nation waits to see the fulfillment of the redevelopment promise, we should have seen the completion of the redevelopment promise. The mentally challenged on the streets will perhaps remain, and the fears of many will also perhaps remain.
Some of them, in fact, they look scary, and I think it is not right to be walking on the way and maybe coincidentally you run through them, and then some of them, in fact, what they can do to you. And because he's a mad person or mentally challenged person, you can't take him or her to court or anything like that.
I am Hannah Odami for Joy News. I am Hannah Odami for Joy News.
The 17th of August, as we commence the payment of the 50%, 17th of July. By the 17th of August, the remaining 50% will be paid. Mr. Speaker, we have kept faith with the buffer stock suppliers. As I mentioned, the total business that they've done with the buffer stock company is to the tune and exact 2,705,408,476 cedis and 58 pesos, 2.7 billion, out of which 2.5 billion has been made. And we will pay the remaining, the 200 million that is submitted to us in full by the end of August. We'll commence payment hopefully by Wednesday, and in a month's time, the total payment will be made. We don't have challenges with the suppliers, so we are extremely surprised about the happenings in the last 2 weeks, but we take it in good faith and we continue to work with them.
And the headlines you would see: KNUST Hospital cited for alleged medical negligence, as 10-day-old bathers call on government to holistic health care for mentally challenged persons. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 12.
Political season is here, but there are a few faces that make it very interesting for us to look at, particularly with the case of the MPP primaries in orphan constituencies. These fresh faces are chasing a parliamentary dream, and today I'm going to be bringing a few of them onto the show for a conversation, and I'm really interested in what is the inspiration behind their desire to go to parliament. A place when you speak to those in the house already, they tell you that this is a place that only gives you stress. It only leaves you poorer than you came in. But many new faces want to get into parliament. What really is the motivation? We'll tap into that for the New Patriotic Party. Some of them, you've seen them play, talk in the media. This is where they've done their job, and they're going into politics. So very fascinating conversation in prospect. But let's start with the very basics. For many of you who haven't heard, the NPP is holding parliamentary primaries in orphan constituencies. What we talk about orphan constituencies is this fancy name to say in constituencies where they don't have sitting members of parliament. That is constituencies where the NDC is actually the incumbent when it comes to the member of parliament there. So you look at the roadmap for the orphan constituencies. The nominations have opened. It closes on the 10th of August. The elections is going to be run over a period between September 23rd to December 2nd, 2023. So this is a long period. This is not one that will hold on a single day. So there's a reason why this happened. You have to treat the orphan constituencies as a special case because you want to win it back from the opposition political party, which is the NDC in this case. The nomination fee is 3,000 cedis, but also the filing fee 35,000 cedis. But the thing to note about this particular number here is that this number here is for the male aspirants. For female aspirants and for disabled aspirants, they pay half of this particular amount here. And the party is very mindful of ensuring that the marginalized minority groups are encouraged and given incentives to compete, women and disabled. So they pay only half of this. That's just the surface of what we are talking about. This is break it down for you. But then, if you look at some of the interesting details that we have, just to tell you the numbers when it comes to orphan constituencies, you know you have to go to parliament, right? Because there are 275 members of parliament there. And you know already, per the numbers, that the MPP has 137 members of parliament, and the NDC has 137 members of parliament as well. And then there's just one independent who breaks the tie but votes with the MPP. So instantly, you begin to see that this part here will be the area